Hi, my name is LaShawn J, and welcome back to my channel for another review of Life After Lockup. Today we're going to be doing a review on episode 43. Okay, guys, we're just going to jump right into it. So first couple I want to talk about is Derek and Monique. So we see Derek and Monique. Derek, he's in the car with his sisters. Monique, she's in the car with her sisters, and they're all getting together to go meet up to squash whatever beef they got because Derek wants to throw a party and he wants everybody there. He wants to get back with Monique. He wants his sisters to be on board, to like her, and to stop the bickering back and forth online. And he wants Monique's sisters to like him, and he want everybody to get along. So they're in the car, and Derek is just like, I'm hoping everybody's going to be on their best behavior because, they want to squash it. And the sister, Elizabeth, she's like, well, they originally started it when they came at me on your release date. They're the ones who came over to our side on your release date and was like, trying to figure out, oh, we wanted to check your temperature, seeing what was going on. So this is how it started. Then I posted stuff about them online. So Derek is just like, you know what? I'm not trying to go there for no fighting, nothing. We just gonna go, we're gonna talk, we're gonna keep it cool. So his younger sister was like, you know what, you handle one of the sisters. She said, you handle Monique, I'm gonna handle one sister, and my other sister gonna handle the other sister. He hops out the car, he's like, you know what, I'm not even going anymore. I'm not going anymore because I'm not going for this. I'm not going to fight. I wanted everybody to talk, get along, so I could have a good birthday. I'm turning 30 and I want to have a nice birthday party. So the sisters drag him back. They called him. They dragged him. They was like, look, we just spent $300 on our nails. We're not going to go fight nobody. We just gonna go see what's up. We're not going to fight nobody. So we see Monique. She's in the car with her sisters, and she's saying how the sisters never liked her, and they always was talking about her online. And she's been really good to Derek. They should be happy that he has a girl like her. They all get to the little parking lot where they're supposed to be meeting. Derek goes, he walks over to Monique's car. He's asking Monique, is everything good? Everybody good? Everybody's calm. We're all in agreement. We're going to talk. And he was like, all right, come on, get out the car. So they get out the car. Derek's sisters is like, yeah, so how y'all doing? Being a little smart. So she was like, one of the sisters was like, so what is the problem? Why y'all got a problem? And Derek's older sister's like, well, one of y'all was like, when on the release date, one of y'all was like, oh, it was you. One of y'all was like, oh, I'm coming here to check your temperature. This is when everything started. She shouldn't be there. She cannot tell his family not to be there on his release date. So the sister with the gray, I don't know their names. They all look alike. The sister with the gray was like, and Derek also, older sister, I think her name is Elizabeth. She also said, and somebody was coming at me online constantly. And she was like, yep, that was me. That was me. So the sister with the gray, she's like getting real crazy with Elizabeth. Now they going back and forth. Elizabeth is like, yeah, you don't want this. Da, da, da. They going back and forth. They about to fight. Derek ends up separating them. Elizabeth and the younger sister go back to the car. Monique and her two sisters are still arguing and antagonizing them. They're sitting in the car at this point. And Derek is just like, come on, like, why are we doing this? Let's just squash it. Monique walks up to the car, starts arguing with them again. The sister in the gray is just screaming, saying, she keeps talking, she just keeps talking, she's not going to swing, she's not going to swing. And then we see Elizabeth runs out the car and hits the sister with the gray. Clocks her like twice. She flings on the ground. The younger sister then jumps on her, and the two of them start fighting. And then Elizabeth is fighting Monique and the other sister, Carlina, I don't know her name, whatever, fighting both of them. Then she comes back over and she starts fighting the other one with the gray. Security separate them and like pushes Elizabeth on the floor. This is how she hurt her back. So the sister with the gray on was just constantly antagonizing her and talking the most trash, and then gets knocked out in the first round. And then she gets beat up by the little sister. The whole get together to try to squash it was ridiculous. I know Derek, he was like, he felt like he didn't do enough to stop the situation. He should have known better. But it was pretty ridiculous because he knows they don't like each other at this point. They're not going to end up liking each other. He knows they don't like him and Monique being together. They're not ever going to change their mind on that. So the whole trying to squash it for his birthday, it was not going to work. I don't know why they couldn't act like adults because Monique and her sisters are in their 30s. And I think Derek's sisters are pretty young. I don't see why they couldn't act like adults, because at first, Elizabeth was trying to explain why she doesn't like Monique. But the sister in the gray, the one who done got beat up by both of them, would not let her talk. So, a mess. Moving on. The next couple I want to talk about is Chance and Taylor. So, Taylor's trying to get in touch with Chance. Chance is not answering his phone as usual. He walks in the door. He sits on the couch. He's like, what you cook? She's like, oh, I was trying to get in touch with you, but you wasn't answering your phone. He's like, well, you know, the Bluetooth don't be working when I'm doing GPS. Sometimes I go through tunnels.
Stop the cap.
Whole bunch of excuses, which is just ridiculous. So he finally sits down and tells her, hey, my son Ethan is going to be coming, and also I'm paying for his ticket. And she's like, so you couldn't have called me to let me know that you was going to be paying for his ticket? You couldn't have run anything by me? And he's like, well, I don't think I need to run everything by you, especially because we're not married.
Damn!
And she's like, well, since you feel that way, I don't think I want to be married to you. So he tells her Ethan is coming, he paid for his ticket, and he's going to be here in a few days. She suck it up. She's like, all right, he hasn't seen his son in years. All right, I'm going to let this slide. She let a lot of things slide. So Ethan gets there. You know, Chance is giving him the tour of the house, and he says, hey, this is the baby crib, which I'm pretty sure Ethan saw Taylor's gigantic stomach. She's almost there. She's about to give birth when he walked in the door. But he's like, hey, this is the baby crib, and I also meant to tell you that you're having a little brother. Cool. They sit down. They're talking, trying to get to know each other a little bit. Chance is like, hey, you know, 45 minutes away, it's a strip club, because earlier he told Taylor he wanted to take him to the strip club, and she tried to laugh it off, but he was dead serious. And he's telling Ethan, hey, you know, 45 minutes away, it's a strip club. And Ethan's like, I don't think I want to go there. So they go sit down. Have some drinks, try to catch up, get to know each other a little bit better. You know, Ethan explained to him his childhood and growing up without him, and thought he was never going to meet him, and how he understands people change, and he's willing to give him a chance, but he better not mess up no more. The next thing we see them at a restaurant, and they have is everything. And Taylor's like, yeah, I think Chance is trying to show off a little bit for Ethan. I understand because he hasn't been around, but we broke. So they're at the restaurant. They got pizza, steak, salad, a whole bunch of stuff. They're sitting and talking, and Chance brings up Ethan's mother, and he's like, yeah, you know, I want to go out there and see where you're at and see where you're from, and see. I don't know what he needs to see, because Ethan is here. Why are you worried about going where he's not at? And he was calling you, trying to get away from there. So he's like, yeah, we could get a bus and put a couple beds in it and drive out there. And Taylor like, well, she gets kind of skeptical about taking a bus out there, because he constantly keeps talking about Ethan's mom, and he's constantly, you know, bringing her up all the time. So they're talking, and he's like, yeah, I don't want to step on no toes or make anybody else feel uncomfortable. And Ethan is just looking around like, you're making me feel uncomfortable right now, questioning me about my mother, and your wife, your pregnant fiance, and kids are here at dinner. So the check comes, and Taylor's like, how we paying for this? And they decide to split it between 3 cards. And he's like, I know you got at least $75. So wait, he's allowed to count and clock every dollar that she has, but she's not allowed to question him about money?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
He just said that he don't feel like she should be questioning him about what he spends because they're not married. But he knows exactly how much money that she has on her card in her purse. How is that even possible? And what? So he's like, yeah, I know you got at least $75 on that card. Now I got 2 cards that I could split, and we use your 75, we should be able to cover it. And she's just like, okay, and hands over her card to Chance. He gives it to the waiter, and they pay for their dinner. Taylor needs to put her foot down somewhere. And I'm hoping after this baby come, and she got 3 kids, a newborn, plus Chance, draining her financially, she will finally see the light and put her foot down and kick Chance sorry butt to the curb. Because she keeps talking about Chance has been working a lot of overtime, but she doesn't know what he's doing with his money. But he knows how much money you have, but you don't know what he's doing with his money. And where is the job that he's working overtime at? Please, anybody who knows where he works at, please don't forget to comment and let me know that I have not seen where he works at, so he could be working overtime. Taylor constantly keeps saying he's working overtime, but where is he working at? I recall him buying a blower, a washer, so that he could wash people's houses, and that was last episode. So she's been saying that before he had that washer. I don't know if Chance is telling her, hey, I'm off to work, but he's actually going to hang out at the bar or the strip club. But that's the only place I think he's putting overtime in, not at work. The next couple I want to talk about is Puppy and Amber. So we see Amber, she's sitting with her friend Queen. They're talking about the night when Amber and TC got into this big fight. She was just explaining to her, hey, you know what, we went to the bar and Puppy came out to TC and said, you know what, I'm not a drug dealer, this and that. And, you know, we ended up having a big fight over it. So the friend was like, yeah, they'll get you in a lot of trouble with your man. So Amber was like, yeah, I had a couple missed calls from her, so I'm going to call her and see what's going on. So she calls her and she's like, yeah, I'm not doing nothing. Puppy's like, I'm just cleaning up. And she was like, yeah, you know, me and TC got into a big fight about that, the drug dealer thing. And she was like, yeah, I'm not too worried about that. This is why I tried to clear it up so that y'all don't argue about it. You know, everything is cool. We're not drug dealers. But you know what? That's neither here or there because I have bigger fish to fry. So Eric didn't come home last night. And Amber's like, where was Eric? Wherever his ex was.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, Eric was with the ex. The ex calls Puppy to apologize for sleeping with Eric. If you call it apology, but it sounds like rub it in your face. That's what it sounds like to me. She called you to let you know she's still sleeping with your man, not to apologize. And then she put you on a three-way call, mute you, and let you hear out his mouth that she was sleeping with your man.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
That's not no apology. She didn't call you to apologize to let you know she slept with Eric. She called to throw it in your face like, I'm still sleeping with him after he got the divorce. So Amber's like, what? Now this is just getting ridiculous. Now it's just like right in your face. Y'all not in love. Y'all don't love each other. Just get out of there. So Puppy's like, yeah, I know we don't love each other. I know. Seems like Puppy love him. I don't know what Puppy telling everybody else, but it seemed like she loved him. Because if she wanted to get out of there, she'd have got out of there. She's like telling Amber the reason why she can't get out is because she don't have no money. He gonna throw her out the house. She don't got no car.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
If you want to get out, Amber, ain't nothing gonna hold you back. You gonna go barefooted, broke, and you gonna walk out. You don't need a car. You don't need no clothes. You don't need no house. If you want to get out of something, you won't get out of it one way or another. So that's her excuse for staying with Eric while he's with his ex-wife. So we see Eric come and he's like, hey, what's up? She's like, you know what? I'm not even about to argue with you. I just want to go see my mom. So she gets dressed. They go to CVS, grab some flowers, some chocolates, go bring it to the mother. They're sitting down talking to the mom. And the mom is like, hey, how's everything going with y'all? Everything good? Eric is like, we're great. We're great. We have a bond that cannot be broken. Okay? We're good. Everything is Gucci over here. And he's just telling her mother some of her dream. And the mom is just looking, And he was like, you know what, my ex is trying to break us apart. But ain't nothing gonna break us apart. Together forever. So he gets up and leave. And then the mother's like, so what's really going on, Puppy? What's going on? And she's just like, yeah, Eric's spending the night out. He cheating with the ex, the same ex that he divorced and he ain't want to be with no more. He's still cheating with her, lying, and whatever else. So the mother was like, I knew it from the minute you got here, something was going on. Puppy started crying. Her mother came to console her and just like let her know, like, you know what? You got to leave this situation alone. You know what? Your mom is right there, girl. What are you doing? Go. So she's just like, yeah, she's going to try. She's going to try and leave the situation alone. So the next couple I want to talk about is Sean and Sarah. So we see Sean, he's in the kitchen, he's feeding the baby a bottle, and he lets Sarah sleep in. So he's like, what she was saying to him sunk in a little bit. So Sarah's just happy. She was like, yeah, finally he's doing something. You know what? I don't want to take away from your time with your kids, but you know what? I need a little break sometimes too. So they talk it over. They squash the beef. Happy little family again. The next thing we see Sarah. She is at a breast augmentation consultation. She about to get some work done. And Sean is just like, why are you doing this? And she's like, well, I had 2 kids and I want some work done. I want bigger boobs. So I'm getting bigger boobs. So Sean is like, yeah, he's lucky to have Sarah and he's not a jealous person, but he feel like he will be a little bit more jealous when she gets her breast done. So in the consultation, Sarah's trying it on all these different sizes. Like, yeah, I want this. Ooh, I like this. And guess who's blowing up the phone? Anthony. Anthony is blowing up her phone and calling her and texting her. She's like, all right, I gotta use the bathroom, which don't look suspicious because your phone keep ringing, you keep ignoring it, and then you gotta pee. Okay. So she runs to the bathroom, calls Anthony back, and it's like, hey, what's going on? You keep calling me. I know Sean is usually at work at this time. So which shows that Sarah talks to Anthony on a regular basis when Sean is at work. Because she said out her own mouth that he probably thinks Sean is at work because he's usually at work. So that means every day at work, when he at work, you over here speaking to your ex. It's like the comeback of the exes this season. So she's in the bathroom. She's talking to him. He was like, yeah, you know what? Do you think I could see my daughter? And she's like, are you sure you're ready for that? And he's like, yeah, I got my driver's license. I'm out of rehab. I got a job. I got my life together. I'm ready for this. So she was like, all right, I'm gonna run it over with my mom because you know my mom is the one that was taking care of her while both of us was locked up and still is helping taking care of her. So I got to run that by her first. So she goes back into the room and she's just like, yeah, everything is good. Everything is fine. She gets home and she's talking to her mom, telling her mom, hey, you know what? Anthony said he wants to see his daughter. And her mom is like, I don't really like the idea of this because he had a lot of time. This girl is 8 years old. He had so much time and chance to come and see her. I really don't agree with this, but it's for her. In the long run, it's going to benefit her. But I really don't agree with this. After 8 years, I'm not seeing your daughter. Now you really want to come and see her. And you're not somebody who's consistent. Being off of drugs, you're on and off of drugs, but being off of it for a long time consistently. So it is what it is. It's his kid. Give him a chance. So the next couple I want to talk about is Justine and Michael. So we see Justine and Michael. They're talking about going to see a doula. And Michael's like, what do you need a doula for? She's like, well, I didn't get to do all this other stuff with my other pregnancy, so I want to do a doula with this one. So they put their little construction outfit on and they go see the doula. Even Michael, like, we look like 2 crossing guards. Like, where we going with this? But he put it on anyways. So they're going to see the doula. They go see the doula and she's just letting her know, yeah, I do have a lot of services that I offer while pregnant and after pregnant, and I am willing to travel because Michael's like, he want to move Midwest, down Southwest, East, West. So he want to move somewhere. He just wanted to be out the city. Somewhere. He wants to move. So Justine's like, but where are you trying to move? He was like, you know what? Don't worry about that. I'm the one buying the house.
Stop the cap.
So Justine was like, huh? She's like, every time he tell us one place we gonna move and we all get excited about the area and she's trying to figure out how they gonna make their life work around there, he changes it up. Like, so they talking to the doula tell them all the services that she gives. She even do placenta services where they eat the placenta or they make placenta art and all these things with the placenta that they're interested in. They get home and, you know, Justine is hugging all the kids. Hi, good night. Michael comes to give him a hug and he goes to give the son a hug, Santana, and he kicks him. And, you know, Michael was like, all right, I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll be back. So, you know, Justine sat down and speak to him and was let him know, like, you know what, that's not nice. You know, he comes to give you a hug. Just give him a little hug. And that wasn't a nice thing to do. She said that her son has developmental issues and stuff like that. So she's trying to help Michael adjust with her son. He comes out the bathroom and he tells them, hey, you know what? We're moving. This is not supposed to be our permanent location. This was supposed to be temporary until I get out. And now we're going to be moving. And we want this to be a family thing. So We want to know where y'all would be interested in moving. The daughter's like, well, I hope y'all not moving soon because I do still have school. And he was like, no, it'll be around the summertime when everybody's done with school. And he gives out a whole bunch of different areas and they get to vote on which one they like. I think they landed on Nevada. I think that was majority, Nevada or Florida. One of those. Yes, but that was about all we saw with Michael and Justine. In all, this episode was quite a little snooze fest for me. It wasn't as exciting. It wasn't too much going on. I think the most exciting part was waiting on seeing the fight between Derek's sisters and Monique's sisters, which was pretty good. That little clip of the fight was pretty good because Sister in the Gray definitely got beat up. So, all in all, it was a good episode, but kind of boring. It's not too much going on, and it's only the third episode of the season of Life After Lockup. So hopefully the pace it gets a little bit more juicier, it gets a little bit more interesting because it was a so-so episode. I'll give this episode like a C, not a plus or a minus, just a C. It was all right, and it only was all right because of the fight. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy my videos and would like to be notified every time I upload a new video.